Alright, I need a volunteer to read our I can statement for today.
I can translate expressions into numbers, letters, and locations.
I can translate. What does translate mean? What does it mean, Gavin?
Like, in languages, if you can't understand something, you make it into something really short.
Right. So when I went to Mexico a couple years ago, I do not know Spanish. I know words, but I can't speak it fluently. So when I went to Mexico and I was at the marketplace and I was trying to buy something at the marketplace, and this person's talking to me really, really fast, and he feels like he's yelling at me, and I have no idea what he's saying to me. A lady who went with us, she spoke English and Spanish, so she was able to translate. So I was able to tell her in English what I wanted, and she was able to take that and tell the man what I wanted in Spanish, and then whatever he said, she would say back to me in English and move vice versa, right?
You don't alone, you can use Google Translate.
Right, we're actually going to get with that. You can use Google Translate, but when you don't have internet access in Mexico because your phone doesn't work in Mexico, you can't use Google Translate. So we're going to talk about that, but we're not going to be talking about Spanish. We're going to be talking about taking words and translating them into operations. So you have your reference sheet that has a plus sign, subtraction sign, multiplication sign, division sign, all of these. These are full of keywords to help you in the translating process. Have you ever looked at a word problem and went, oh my dear goodness, I don't know if it's asking me to add or multiply or subtract or divide? Do you ever get kind of confused? Well, sometimes it can be confusing. I know for me it's confusing. So I need to find keywords. So this paper right here is going to be your lifeline. This paper with this reference sheet is your lifeline. Okay, you're going to be able to use it for the rest of the year on any test or quiz that we have. And you're going to be able to pick out keywords to help you figure out what is this word problem asking me to do. Because a word problem is translating a problem into an equation or an expression. Okay? You're also going to be able to use the word wall that we're developing. So let's say you come across a problem and you don't understand a word or what it means. Most likely it's going to be on our word wall. It's in the process of being constructed at the moment. We only have a few words up there, but I'm working on getting more on there. Okay? So you've got anchor charts around the room to help you. You've got notes, you've got your reference sheet, and you've got the word wall. So you should be able to figure some things out. Okay? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about translating. So these are a few of the key words that you could fill in on your packet for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and equals. Now, all these words are also on your reference sheet, so I'm not going to make you fill those in today, okay? Because it's in both places, so you can just look at your reference sheet for that. But those are a few words. So if I saw the word combined, what operation would I probably use?
Addition.
If I saw quotient, what am I going to do? Division. If I saw product, what would that be?
Multiplication.
If I saw difference, what would that be? Subtraction. Okay. Here are your blanks, though, for the first part of your packet for expressions. Verbal statements can be translated to algebraic expressions. It is like deciphering a secret message or translating from one language to another. An expression is a mathematical phrase that contains numbers, variables, and operations. What does an expression not have? An equal sign. When it has an equal sign, what is it called? Starts with an E as well.
Equation.
An equation. And we'll work along equations later, but right now we're just looking at expressions. So the word verbal means words. Okay, so we're going to take words and translate them to expressions, which are numbers and letters and operation signs. So make sure you have your blanks filled in for those. One thing you're going to need to fill in on your reference sheet is on your reference sheet on the front. I need you to make a place that says flip words. I need you to find a place and write flip words.
Can we write it on the back?
No, but right on the front. On your reference sheet, write flip words, and then we're going to put some lists. We're going to list some words to go under that. All right, your flip words are going to be more than, less than, added to, and subtracted from. So these need to go on your reference sheet that has the plus sign and the minus sign and the division and multiplication sign. These go on your reference sheet. More than, less than, added to, subtracted from. Those are important. And you're going to see that in just a minute, why they're important. Of what? Alright, we good? Okay. So the next part is a review from like 2 weeks ago. When we were talking about parts of an expression. And so we can label these parts of an expression. Which one is the variable?
The D.
The D, the letter. So that's a variable. What is the 4 called?
Coefficient.
Coefficient, because it's like the co-pilot. And then what is 9? Constant. And on our word wall, alright, on our word wall we have variable and we have coefficient on there. We also have terms. What would the terms be?
All of them.
What's a term?
40.
40 is the chunk. So 4D is a term. And what else?
9.
9 is a term. Okay, and if you look at our word wall over here, it'll show you that each piece is a term. And what's the whole thing called?
Expression.
This whole thing is an expression. So make sure you have that labeled so that you know that you can refer back to, because that's important. And this is going to be a great study tool for your test next Tuesday as well. You can use this to study with. Okay? Alright. So we have our flip words, right? You remember what your flip words are? What are your flip words?
More than, less than, added to, subtracted from.
Right, more than, less than, added to, subtracted from. So what that means is you're going to swap it. Okay? So an example of that is number 1 on your packet where it says 8 more than a number. There's keywords in here. What are the keywords in this problem?
More than.
More than. So I can underline more than. What operation does more than fall under?
Addition.
Addition. So I can put a plus sign of it so I know I'm adding. Since it's a flipped word, I'm going to draw an arrow. That means what's up front is now going to go to the back, and what's at the back is now going to be at the front.
So 8 is more.
So the 8 is going to come at the end plus a number. Do we know what that number is? No, so we're going to have to use a variable, right? So I can use n as a variable. So I would write it n plus 8. Okay? So far, so good?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so number 2. The difference between a number and 5. What's our key word?
Difference.
What operation is it?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. Do I have any flip words?
Yes.
Do I? No. So I'm going to write it like it says. The difference between a number, do we know what a number is? So we're going to let it be n and 5. So it'd be n minus 5.
Like, can you read any number except for
N means it's any number. We don't know what it is, so we put a variable in it. It could be S minus 5 or P minus 5. You can use whatever letter you want. All right. Number 3, 19 added to a number. Keywords are
Added to.
added to. What operation?
Addition.
Is it a flip word? Yeah, so I'm going to draw my arrow. So how would I write it?
N plus 9.
N plus 19 is how I would write that. So far, so good? Yeah? Not too bad.
What if you had 2 numbers, but it didn't say the next number? So you have like, them 2 numbers plus 9 and.
So it could have been 19 added to 4. You could, if it was said 19 added to 4, it would be 4 plus 19. 19 is being added to that 4.
What if we had another number, but it didn't say?
If it had another number, but it didn't say. If it had 2 variables, let's say it says some number. What if it said Q added to a number? So it'd be N plus Q. Is that what you're asking? Yeah, that can happen. It probably will happen. All right. So you're going to turn your page in your packet. You've got numbers 4 through 11. Using your reference sheet, you're going to translate those sentences into an expression. Okay, and then you're going to take a picture of them and submit it onto our board.
Every single
Okay.
one?
Numbers 4 through 11, just the top part. Okay, and then tomorrow we're going to keep working on this, okay?